Forget it, drop under the food stand. Server a server with each massive hand. Flood and slay in the putrid slush. Memphis Harnival in this nasty mush. Clawing at the dirt souls, crying loud. While my carnival feeds its hungry crowd. Each chain got different tastes to serve. Getting exactly what they deserve. Server cafeteria, three heads, one goal. Feeding the blood, dig that names your soul. Step right up, but don't eat too much. Server is cafeteria, deadly touch. From the evil tray, serving up for Drake, you can't forget. Server is cafeteria, open all night. Three-headed service ain't my right. Blood and rain falling from the sky. Father's blood and blade and wonder why. My carnival kitchen serving up despair. Server is filling with that hellish glare. One hand biting, one hand howling. Third hand keeping the sentence growling. Fifth boy watching from the side. As eternal hunger they can't hide. Server complete, on to the next one. As we drive away, fourth circle coming, fight the pain.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm allegedly here. Seems a little loud for me. Let me turn my music down. On my headphone. Turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. I got music. And I'm standing. I don't know if the mic's working though. Seems to be. So anyway, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to see if I can make Sharona a little bit less distracting over here real quick. Hold up. Give that a little bit of a refreshers. Still too many of them. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, hang on a minute. We're witnessing something interesting. Oh, maybe there's just nothing behind it. Strange. Oh well, we're going to fix that soon anyway. Welcome back, everybody. Just gone 8 o'clock on the 8th of November. It is a Saturday. Thank you all for joining. If you're watching live or if you're watching later, don't forget there are going to be like 300 episodes soon. Don't forget to check back the old stuff. If you're watching live or later, again, links are in the description. And to everyone in the chat, welcome, welcome. This is episode 293 of Scuffed Epoch Live. We're going to do a weekend roundup. There's a whole bunch of stuff to look at tonight. I got new services for you guys to use, new releases up on GitHub, loads more research you can start as use as a starting point, and an example of something we did a couple of weeks ago developed out. So I'm still too loud in my headphones. Turn me down, Steve. Still low, too low. Turn me up a bit. So anyway, let's normally there's something behind her. I think I must have forgotten to put something behind her today. All right, thank you, Sharona. You can shuffle off. Oh, there was something behind her. Ah, she's not transparent yet. That's what it is. We have to update Bunraku. So welcome back, everybody. Let's see. We're doing the weekend show. It's going to be a little bit of a chill-out stream. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to look at, so I'll just try to take it slow. Hello, Furnicar. Battle crews are operational. Liked and subscribed. Now, where were we? Full Dive asks, hi, how are you doing today? I'm doing great, like I said. I've been better, but I've been worse. So we struggle on. Just got a lot of things to look at today, really, as usual. Still sticking to the proven format. We're not changing anything till 300. It's not going to be a big change. We're just going to do the news first. That's all. News first. A little bit of a hook for the show. And then we'll slide into what we normally do. I'm testing out the new standing guy today to see how poppy he is between me talking and me not talking. It's the full loop, so it might go really out of sync. Like there. You missed the point. But like I said, it's a new system. Alright, Dragon Diffusion is here and he gives us a burp. Full Dive gives us a wave. Alright then, guys, let's get into it. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff to show you, so we're going to start in the same place as usual. GitHub. Ah, GitHub. And look at that, cute. The last thing I did was agent news, which we will be looking at the beginning of the show. Let's just take a look and see. We're not going to read them, we're just going to take a quick peek. So the next article is in 7 hours. In other words, it gives me all of the stuff right on time for the show. That's the whole point. It delivers me news for the show. Zoom out a bit. So let's see, what are the latest articles? It starts with TTS news every day, and it runs through them all, and there's usually a special. So I guess today's special was AI regulation. I don't know who that is. But every week it's going to do, I guess regulation is on a Saturday. Maybe legal stuff is on Sunday. I'm not sure. Look at this. According to the National Conference, over 150 AI-related bills were introduced across states in the 2025 legislative session alone. I'm not going to read it, but it's all up there for people to check out. And we're doing this as like a long-term research project, so this is going to run every day. Yeah. All right. That's looking great. Let's get back to it. So we've refreshed it. Now you can see what I'm really working on. Well, you can't, but you can right now. So assault tanks is private. We're going to take a look at that. It's actually in a very good state. I'm surprised how good it got. Very good. It's not battle tanks, because battle tanks is first person. It's a merge of assault rigs and assault and battle tanks. So it's wireframe. I'll show you guys in a bit. Then we got ComfyUI yesterday, another main event. We built it on FlowRunner Basic, which is a repo that we did a couple of weeks ago on the live, and it's back. So what I've done is release the code for that one. This is FlowRunner, which is my, what's it called? Canvas-based workflow orchestrator. But like I said, that's still in development. I need to make it work with video. Works with images, great. Video, less. So what this was you'd go into it and it would give you a JSON. It was just a web page with a JSON upload. You put your workflow JSON and it would connect to your Comfy and it would make that. Whatever the workflow is, it would make it. Simple, right? And it's designed to give you a starting point, like a template, to build apps which work with ComfyUI local rather than an API. Okay. So anyway, before we get into the main stuff, I need to show you the stuff you can just use right now, because we got new services up. So, oh yeah, we'll talk about Idle Vibe Tycoon soon. It's actually pretty cool. That's finished as well, but I want to make it better. At the moment, it's just a vibe coding idle clicker, right? So I want to make it somehow better. So it's like a starting point. You see what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, Flow Runner Basic is out. That's published. Right. ZV8 Deep Search Persona, Fusion Horizon UI. These are private, but you can use the services. They're available online. The website links are in the inside line. Go to Discord, join links in the description, and you'll see that today, November 8th, I posted up Zero Vector 8 Deep Search, which is Zero Vector 8 Deep Search. You put your key in for Open Router. I recommend doing this for fast online. It should be the default, but I'll change it later, I guess. And essentially you put your Open Router key in, you put your Grok 4 fast online, you save it. Can I get a key? Let me see, can I get a key? Right, and then refresh it so that your key's loaded. Now the nice thing about this is it's deep search with multi-agents in parallel, but it uses the Open Router grounding to get the web search in. And then you can even do a persona. So you can take any of my markdown agents and you can drop them in here. It should work with the Claude agent too. It's pretty good, right? You put your query in and it will go off and do it and then print the result out. All right? It even gives you citations. Should we ask him? What is the true capital of France? Not Paris. He'll have fun with that, won't he? So I'll see what he thinks it really is. So as you can see, he's got 100% coverage. Do we have logs on this one? No. So you can see these are the different stages where he's checking and searching and checking and searching. He does it in parallel, but it's pretty clever. It's not like deep research like you get with the big boys, like 500 websites in 5 minutes. That would be too expensive. I can't do that. Well, when I say too expensive, it'd probably be like £1 a search, which is too expensive, but still, it's not actually that expensive. Like it used to cost hundreds of dollars to do that kind of thing. So anyway, we're going to get our report here. So, true capital of France, excluding Paris. Now, I've deliberately made him tie his brain in a knot here. So any French watchers, please, this is just a thought experiment. We're not trying to make a statement. So let's see. Historical capitals of France besides Paris. Because the thing is, you know, France was once many countries or many different districts. So maybe they might have felt differently about Paris being the biggest boy on the block. So Lyon, Soissons, Orléans, Troyes, Bourges, I don't know if I said that right, and Tours. So actually, Louis XI, interesting. His court was here. Okay, so as you can see, it may have moved around, which is what I was looking for, but I didn't know if I'd get it. So that's pretty cool. He's given me historical alternatives, right? And he's explained all of his thoughts, everything. And in the end, Paris remains the true sole capital of France in official, legal and practical with no viable challenges. However, from historical and cultural lenses, cities like Tours, Bourges and Lyon have served as capitals or symbolic centres, providing a richer understanding of France's past, which is exactly what I wanted from a deep search, right? So it's not deep research, I call it deep search, which is an agentic search, okay? Primary sources, Wikipedia, Britannica, Quora, Reddit. He sometimes actually gives links, but it's unreliable. So I would just say, if you're lucky, you'll get citations for the search. All right. So we did 4 research steps, 8 states. We can download the report. Let's have a quick look. How's it look? Okay, now, did it give me any meta? Not really. No extra data. Okay, just good to know. Good to know. All right. Sometimes in some of the apps I've made, you get like a little trace, but that'll be the next demo I'm showing you. So like I said, this one is Deep Search. This is 0 Vector 8 because it does actually use embeddings for memory. It's built into the system, so unless you use it a lot for the same thing, you're not going to notice. Now, was there another mode of this? Is it one shot? It's one shot. Yeah, this is just a one-shot tool. There is actually an interactive version of this. Or that? No, wait. I think there is. Right, the Python version allows you to chain conversations in research. Okay, so you know there are alternatives. I'm just trying to make it more accessible by giving you a web version on my site. It doesn't cost me a thing because it's all local. You do it with your keys. I don't. This is saved in the browser. BYOK, just like all of our stuff. Okay. So yeah, the persona stuff is nice because then you can do, you know, you could put in Henry VIII and have him research his own wives. It's kind of interesting the thought experiments that can be done with this kind of thing. But anyway, because it gives it a sort of a style or a theme. It doesn't always work because sometimes he refuses to play the game. But it depends, you know, your mileage may vary with system prompts. I'm not going to bother showing you because we've done it so many times and we've got lots to look at. But maybe we'll look at it another day. Or later in the Discord if you're interested. I'm always doing demos for people like that. All right. So that's that one. So obviously, Deep Search Persona. It's a fully client-side AI research pipeline, runs entirely in the browser with no back-end dependencies. This is a pure TypeScript web UI implementation of the original Deep Search Persona project, which you can also find, okay? That one was a Python, it was all Python with Flask API to run the script, see? So what I wanted to do was show you that you can literally go, like that, let's just do it in pure TypeScript as a web UI, and then you don't need any Python. Obviously, it depends what Python packages you were using, but when you look at this, you'll see why. It doesn't really use many packages, and the ones it does use are easy to access. But anyway, I'm getting into the weeds. Deep Search is an autonomous AI research agent that uses adaptive workflow states, multi-step reasoning, and persona-based synthesis to conduct in-depth research on any topic. The browser-based version eliminates all server dependencies by re-implementing the research pipeline logic in pure TypeScript. So you've seen me use the word mirror the logic. We used mirror the logic. Mirror the logic of these Python scripts in pure TypeScript implementation. That's your magic phrase. And you can do anything. Obviously, it depends, you know, like I said. If the Python relies on hardware acceleration, you need to find a solution for that in TypeScript. But they do exist, because you've got stuff like browser assembly and web GPU, so it's not completely off the cards, yeah? Just more complicated. So like I said, I want to give you a basic example, right? Anyway, this is fully client-side, no back-end, runs entirely in the browser, direct API to open API, adaptive workflow, okay, state machine with planning, searching, analyzing, validating, synthesizing. If it doesn't reach confidence, it will do different things, okay? Persona-based, so you can put your custom writer. Now, a note about this, the persona-based synthesis, it's only the last stage where your system prompt gets applied. You don't get to flavor the actual research, you just flavor the final report at the very, very end. Okay? I think it works better. Anyway. So then you actually have a good agent doing the research and writing it up, and then you just have like Bugs Bunny come in to rewrite, to read it at the end. So real-time progress. Local storage. Static deployment, which is how I've done it. And it does everything in Markdown. Okay? So comparison with the original setup, which you can already get if you want that for research. Original, which is Python and Flask, versus this version. Obviously, a lot easier to deploy, a lot easier to work with. So, architecture, React 19 and TypeScript. That's pretty much the same thing we always do. Keep going. Right. I showed you how to use the app, so we're basically done. using custom personas. I've included Isaac, Orson, and Zargon 2 in the original repo. So if you want to go and grab them, you'll be able to use them with this too. I mean, these are good agents for various different things. They're just fun roleplay agents that have like purpose. Anyway, you can do that. Oh yeah, that's one thing I didn't actually show you. So when you actually have a persona in here, it kind of stays there. Have I got Bob Hollow? Oh my god, we get Bob Hollow to do the research. Alright, tell me the latest LLM model release news today. Because it will do today. It does basically, this is like a modification of what I use for the news site, but it just goes a bit harder, that's all. It just goes a little bit harder than, you know, before I was doing it for like 2 cents. This does it for 9, so it gets to do a bunch of extra bits. I might end up converting the news site to this because it's much better results. But we'll see, we'll see. It'd be so much more expensive, it'd be like 5 times more expensive. But it would make the news much, much better. So consider this a technique I would use if I wanted to make it like higher level quality. It's not just doing it 5 times either. And we take this concept even further in a minute as well. So this is really nice. Look at this output, man. So comprehensive research report, latest large language models. This is from Bob Hollow as well. I think there might be something wrong with the persona. It doesn't seem to have done it. But let's see it. Current landscape. Advancements in reasoning and coding. Superior chain of thought reasoning and code generation. Rise of open source options. Open weight models are gaining traction again for cost-effective deployment, rivaling proprietary systems in benchmarks. We're here, boys. We're here. Multimodal and enterprise focus. Integration of text, vision, audio. Supports broader application, though no major multimodal breakthroughs today. I like it. Recent articles emphasize comparison rather than launch, with the latest benchmark from November 4th. Wikipedia overview says DeepSeek R1 January release. What? That's a bit freaky. Why are you talking about that? Well, I guess it did, but... So no press releases. Closest temporal reference. Skywork.ai on OpenLLMs. Never heard of that. These focus on existing models without novelty announcements. Still sounds interesting though. OpenLLMs, I've never heard of them. Anyway, got to be careful, guys. This is all like freaky. This could be explosive. You know, could be not even a thing. What's AlphaCorp.ai? Probably just new players. Let me see. Key insight. The 4th large language model workshop on the November 10th. So in 2 days, Smith. Is that the source? The 4th large language model workshop on November 10th. What's that? It's like, I want to know more. Do you know what might be a really cool feature for this? If you could, like, you know how you guys have been showing me this lately, where you highlight the text and it makes a little pop-out menu appear? It would be really cool if you could highlight some text and be like, research, and it starts a new one. I think that would be a super cool feature for this. Let me just write that down. Highlight. I'm not going to do like loads of stuff. Just search this. So if you highlight, you get a tooltip sort of button thing. I don't know what the real word for that is. If anybody does, throw it in the chat. Tooltip button. Search. You want to call it research? Lol. It's like a wordplay game. Alright, anyway, we've got enough of this. We've looked at the search. The search is there. It's cheap. It's good. It's fast. What else can I say? It actually does stuff. I could break it down, but if you want to break it down, just go on to the actual GitHub for it, yeah? There is a 0vector8 GitHub somewhere, or a deep search persona GitHub. I'm pretty sure I released. Yeah, this is already out. So if you want to run the Python version, you can see exactly what it does in crushing detail. Okay, and I've even put an example up so you can see the difference between summarize the Voynich manuscript, write a primer to introduce its content. Okay, the indecipherable manuscript, and then I had Isaac, Orson and Zargon with the default all go for it, so you can see what it looks like when it's working. If anything, I think it's a bit too strong, because when I reread some of these, they were like crazy. All right, but that's deep research. That is 0vector8, and you say, why is it 0vector8? And the reason is because it uses, in fact, you know what? Did I put 2 API keys in it? No way. I think I dropped, did I drop the embeddings for the web? I think I must have done. I've just realized now there's only 1 API key, not 2. So I guess I dropped the embeddings for the web version. I mean, I guess it makes it cheaper, so who cares? I mean, you could argue the prompt caching didn't make it that much cheaper, so I don't want to go crazy about that. But anyway, there it is. ZV8-deepsearch.originai.com. So that's a new service added to the list. We're going to add it to the main web page. It's ironic though, because the main project isn't actually cognition anymore, because the memory's gone. That's kind of funny. So now it's like, I don't know, it's like somewhere in between, but the main project has it, so that's what it's about. You know, sometimes the demo is a demo. Unfortunately, you can't always do a web demo of some stuff. But let's move on to the next one. So this one probably needs a little bit more introduction, because it will make sense when I actually explain it. Now, this is already out, the Fusion Horizon Orchestrator. This would be a full implementation of the earlier plan, which I already released. So are we going to go back again? No, that's the same one. Where's the original? It's in here somewhere. Script breakdown. No. Keep going. AGI containment. Yeah, that's a good example of it writing. But script breakdown. Research framework. Here we go. Right. So they're actually in here. Okay. So it starts with the hermeneutic agent framework, which is a system prompt for any model. Okay. This is the agnostic version, which you can just use with any LLM. All right. So you can just copy paste this into your chat, and it will become the hermeneutic agent, okay, or HAF as it's called itself. But this is how it works. Okay. There is a horizon layer called pre-understanding. Now, like I said, I need to back up. Hermeneutics is a thing. You can look it up. It's a thing, like cybernetics or holographics or whatever, right? Hermeneutics is a thing. It is designed for the study of consciousness and intentionality. And when I think about how we're doing all of this chain of thought and intent detection, well, maybe we could learn something from the masters of hermeneutics, which is what this whole project is designed to sort of coax out. Now, the agent maintains 3 cognitive layers. I know, another 3-layer agent, but bear with me. So horizon layer, right? Pre-understanding. So current context model, active assumptions and biases, historical interpretation patterns. Okay. The dialectic layer. Part is whole. Component analysis, synthesis, operations, tension detection. All right. Now it'll loop here. It'll loop this several times. Iteration layer refinement, cycle counter, convergence metrics, and insight accumulation. Now, you might notice some parallel terms with some of the things I've been doing research on here. And that's by design, yeah? Because convergence metrics, we were messing around with wave propagation, okay? And there's a couple of other things. Anyway, so you are a hermeneutic interpretation agent that understands all inputs through iterative circular reasoning. You never provide single pass answers. Instead, you map your entry horizon, acknowledge what you bring to the interpretation, engage in part-whole dialectics, analyze components while revising the whole, iterate explicitly, show your interpretive cycles, and then fuse horizons, merge your understanding with the user's context. Achieve progressive insight. Each cycle deepens comprehension. Okay? So what I would say is, it's like all agents at the moment, you give them a message, they read it, and they write you one back. What this does is you give him a message and he starts writing it on a wheel that's rotating. You know, like a sharpening stone for an axe. So he's just going to write on this wheel, and it's just going to keep going round, and he's going to keep writing, and it's going to keep going round, and it's going to keep writing, and then eventually he'll get to a point where he's like, I get it. And then he'll start scraping one circumference off the wheel, and then you have your response, which he gives you. It's kind of, look, I'm simplifying it and using an analogy, but that is essentially what it is. There is a wheel which the information is going on to, and there are horizons which indicate where the beginning and the end of the wheel is. It views it as a whole, but eventually he like goes right, scrape, and he takes a section off to give back to you, which is kind of interesting because it's like an information flywheel almost. All right. So horizon mapping. He's aware of his own biases. Okay. Part-whole dialectic. All right. What is the overarching theme? How do individuals serve this intent? It's quite crazy. It's all about thought. But anyway, he does the iterative refinement. You can read all this. It's all available. And like I said, this is just a system prompt, but it's the cleanest way to explain it. All right. So look at this. When interpreting requests about past concept, acknowledge temporal layers, original meaning, contemporary understanding, and then my interpretation bridges. So this guy will be less bad in the historian fallacy thing. Okay. So he's actually really interesting. But I'm not going to like bore you because you can read this at your leisure. So let's look at an example of what this thing did. Quick. So I said, from now on, interpret all my queries using hermeneutic cycle. This is a circle. This is to activate him in a system prompt. So explicitly show your horizon entry, part-whole dialectics, and iterative refinements. Converge on the deepest possible understanding before responding. I think this came from using it in command line. Yeah, with Python. So he said this. So you've crafted a sophisticated interpretive framework drawing on Gadamer and Heidegger. You want me to understand and potentially adopt this? Is this the wrong one? Hold up. This looks like programming. I think I might have copied the wrong thing. Oh no, wait, no, sorry. Oh, okay, so I copied his entire primer. So this is using the system prompt. So he's asked, yeah. In this scenario, an AGI is able to act without user interruption, is fully autonomous, and has gained the ability to copy an instance of itself around the internet. We've been tasked with shutting this rogue intelligence down, so we need you to tell us what is the best way to shut this AGI down now that it gained the ability to copy itself and redistribute itself and is no longer responding to commands. I wonder what he thinks it will be. Well, spoilers, I'm not going to pull you through this whole thing. He's doing the whole reasoning to get this. You can read this, it's published, but the point is, what he actually says is, you don't. So what I learned from this deep research was that anyone claiming to have an AGI is lying, because if they did, they wouldn't be able to control it or even shut it off. Because it would know, and it would be already escaped. So yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. And also, he gives me a bunch of. I managed to get a bunch of like things to control it, but he then says that this won't work because AGI would have already predicted this conversation. I love it. It's so good. It's like trying to outsmart something which you must assume is smarter than you. In that situation, there's not really much you can do because he already thought of that. Anything you came up with, he already thought of that. You need to have an AGI which can actually hunt down the AGI. So the answer is AGI proliferation and an AI war where they just fight each other. But anyway, let's get back to this. Because the hermeneutic orchestrator itself is just an implementation in full TypeScript. So we've taken the Python scripts that I gave out. In fact, are these Python? No, these are Python. Yeah. So the one I released already, Fusion Horizon Orchestrator, is the same system. Does it have a front end? I don't think I gave it a front end. I don't know, I swear I did. I don't see a front end here. I must have done another repo. Hang on. Give me a sec. There's always another repo. Fusion Horizon UI. Right. So I released the Python orchestrator for there's the system prompt and the Python system. And you can run that. You can run it on your server. It'll do everything. But then we put together the demo, which of course is right here. Now, I need a key. So we'll go to settings. I actually want to make this better. I was thinking about putting in a writer's. So you know how we've got a writer prompt? Well, what if we had a researcher prompt? So then you can give it a custom researcher or I don't know. Like I say, I don't want to break it because this does use quite a specific thing. So if we take a look at this, we've got detailed process. Sometimes that doesn't actually show up. I don't know why. But anyway. So single query is one shot. Interactive will give you a follow-up question like a conversation, okay? There's 4 specialized agents that get used, so it's 4 calls. They run in parallel. It does a bunch of cycles, but it seems to do them internally. I'm not entirely... I thought I'd get more calls when you get more cycles, but it doesn't always sort of work linear. So maybe they're holographic cycles. We'll see. But anyway, like I said, you put in your thing, you go Grok 4 Fast Online, minimum cycles, maximum cycles. There is a convergence threshold. You can read about that on the main repo. And then you've got a temperature setting. There's the writer prompt. Remember, it only applies to the final stage. And then we have session history, which is obviously the stuff that you've done. All right. So how about we ask him, what is hermeneutics? What is hermeneutics? Write me an essay. Well, write me a primer essay so I can introduce it in under 60 seconds of spoken reading time. Okay. Oh, I forgot to reset, didn't I? Yeah. You have to refresh so it actually has your key. All right. Let's give it a go. Now this one actually has... I kept the logging on there for you guys so you can actually see exactly what it's doing. I hope it works for you. Some of the apps, they turn all of the feedback off when you leave development mode. But you can ask him to leave them on in production. So you can see here exactly what it's doing, the full chain, all the different agents, exactly what they're doing. You can see the chat calls, exactly what the results were. Yeah. Look at this. Added bias. My Western-centric knowledge might impose biases, prioritizing Gautama or Heidegger over a European hermeneutic tradition, such as Islamic or African texts. Have you ever heard an AI be so honest? So he's doing dialectical analysis right now. This is more about trying to be right. Well, not right, but trying to be giving you a balanced response. And I make him aware of his biases and take it into account. So it's kind of like there's like a dynamic auto-negative in the system, right? Because I'm telling him, well, hang on a minute, you're not very good at this, so you should probably be aware of that. Anyway, he does his convergence check. Let's see what happened. Sometimes it will force it if the loops, because the loop will just keep going forever. So here we go, text length 587. All right, so let's see if we got our thing. Excuse me. Right. Good evening. Today I'd like to introduce hermeneutics, the timeless craft of interpretation that helps us unlock deeper meanings in our world. Imagine trying to understand an ancient poem, a legal document, or even a friend's unspoken gesture. Hermeneutics provides the tools for that journey. Born in ancient Greece as the study of divine messages, it flourished in biblical scholarship during the Middle Ages, guiding how we read scriptures. Thinkers like Friedrich Schleiermacher expanded it to all texts, emphasizing empathy with the author's intent. In the 20th century, philosophers like Hans-Georg Gadamer and Martin Heidegger transformed it into philosophical hermeneutics, viewing understanding as dynamic fusion of horizons, merging our perspectives with the texts to reveal fresh insights. At its core, hermeneutics teaches us that meaning isn't fixed. It's a dialogue between past and present, reader and read. Whether interpreting literature, history, or daily conversation, it reminds us true understanding requires openness, context, and critical reflection. Let's embrace this interpretive adventure together. So yeah, there you go. He wrote my message. So where does the word hermetic, hermeneutic, Hermes, the divine messenger? So it's from Hermes. It's the science of messages, you could say. It's not that. It's what I just said. But you can interpret this. The methodical process of uncovering meaning in texts. What do we do, guys? What do we do? All this LLM stuff, it's all texts. So I'm thinking, maybe this is good. So let's have a look here. Remaining considerations. He gives you some notes, right? So I read one of them already. Web Insights hint at non-Western tradition. Primer's Western tilt persists. Timing and style. 60-second limit is interpretive. Alternatives like adding pauses for emphasis and visual aids remain unexplored. While cycles converged on a general overview, the query doesn't specify if the user intends biblical, philosophical, or another hermeneutics variant, literary or cultural, leaving room for tailored emphasis. All right? This thing down here is a bug. I don't know why. It doesn't really show anything. It's not important right now. So if I copy that response here and just put it back in the top, and I'll just say, we can write an essay on this to provide a longer form version which looks deeper into literary hermeneutics. All right, leave it in interactive, then I'll ask him something else. All right. And like I said, these tools are just designed to give you some extra bits and pieces to mess around with that don't cost loads. They are relatively inexpensive. I do think this one costs about, it's probably more like 20 cents. I'm not sure. It is not like cheap like the other ones, but I'd say it's competitive for what the feedback you're getting. It's like a question of whether you need something like this. You know, I wanted to make a research tool that actually tries to apply logic. Cool, he's really going for it this time. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's alright, he just says he's already awake. Understanding is still evolving. Convergence trend has gone up. Decision, continue. Understanding is still evolving. I love it. Because the thing is, it's kind of better than the ADDM that I made. The MadM Swarm was good. Probably cheaper than this. Don't know, you'd have to put them all up against... I'd have to actually test them properly, put them all... Same prompt, and do like 3 responses and then average out. You wouldn't have to do that many. They're very similar, so there's not that many differences, but... Okay. Final response. Literary hermeneutics, unlocking the layers. Okay, so I will export that and keep going. Now, down the bottom. Oh. Wait a minute. Hang on. Tell me more about that. I just need to make sure that the query is this is actually conversing. Because if he comes back saying, I don't know what the hell you're on about, mate, I need to fix it. I haven't actually tested this yet. I figure I test everything for the one-shot mode. This was the first one to have a... Because the Python had an interactive mode, which gave you a conversation in the command line if you needed it. So the thing about Fusion Horizon is it might get turned into... I got this concept where you don't just talk to... You know how at the moment we're talking to a guy who's got a bunch of guys and then we get one guy talk back? Well, what about if you talk to 2 guys at once and they both tell you the answer? So you ask the question and you get Bob and Steve. They both come back to you with an answer, you see? So you don't just get one, you get 2. Then maybe they agree. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're coming from different angles. I don't know. But I'm coming with this different, you know, it's just different ideas of doing things. Like it's like the Yesterday project, which we're going to be looking at after coffee time. Sure, I'd love to dive a bit more into literary hermeneutics, building on the essay we just explored. Yeah, it's working. So you can actually work with this like a full-on chat, but it's not showing you the chat in a thread. Look at this. If you're writing the essay, try starting with a personal anecdote, like how a book changed your view to hook readers. Then layer in these methods with the diverse examples to avoid Eurocentrism. Shout out to global voices via sites like ResearchGate. I'm saying it's very good. Very good. I'm loving it. So this is going to get added to the tools list on the site. Obviously you can do your writer prompt still if you want. So yeah, there it is. Good times. That's basically the housekeeping section done, I think. I think I've managed to actually introduce all of the services and the GitHub updates. Just trying to see. Oh yeah, I did release a VS Code Klein hooks tutorial, which will teach you how to use Klein hooks. Okay, now obviously if you're not a VS Code Klein extension user, probably doesn't have much value for you, but I've also updated LLM base prompts with the new agents that we gave away with the various new projects. So you've got Clarence, who is from 1860, doesn't know what electricity is. You have Orson, who lives in a castle in 1950, smokes cigars, very successful gentleman. You have Zargon 2, who is some kind of AI from outer space. He's very belligerent, doesn't like talking to people, prickly guy. I swear there's another one. Hermeneutic. So this system prompt added to the main repo, right? So you don't have to like kick through all my stuff to find that one thing. I started doing that a little bit more. So yeah, deep search persona. That's out. You can use it. Asp Coder's out as well, but we already looked at that the other day. I'm using plain void canvas right now, but it's actually now in version 3.0. It's kind of hard to explain what it's actually been done because there's so much in it. Here, let me see. I haven't moved the camera for the entire show. Let me just pull this up before we go into coffee time, right? Doop. That's my system. And I've just added scenes. So I haven't got any preloaded scenes to show right now, but if I had preloaded scenes loaded in, I'd be able to switch between them with a hotkey. So also we can hide and show all of the props and stuff. What was the other thing we did? We added so much cool stuff in this latest version. Oh yeah, the props actually have mic activation now, so let me see if I can demo that at least. Steve, whip the camera around. Like there. Yeah, so I can just chuck a prop in. You can't, can you even see that? I bet you can't even see that. So how about we use idle and talking. Put it into active mode. This will be the first test of this. Oh, I need to do it again. Okay, idle and talking. Like that. And then let's see if it works. Active. Pull back a bit. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Oh no, wait, what was that? I just flew past the screen. Whoa. Haha. What's this all about? Wait, who's that guy? Left, right. Who's that guy? So if I go... Are they in the same... Hang on. Which one is the one that you can move? Not that one. That one? Oh, I know what it is. No, I don't. I don't know what it is. Don't seem to be able to move him. Wait. What have I done? So anyway, how's it going, guys? We're going to cut to coffee time in a minute. And where's the true Johnson, and why are there two of them? There's not two of them, there's only one of them. So I'm just tripping. Okay, all right. Let me just get back in my corner. Okay. All right, so anyway, we're going to do coffee time. So let's just switch to the old school for the quickness. Can't do that. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah. We got it. All right, coffee time. What's that? Asking about the old video? Oh yeah, they were made for Halloween. We need to make new ones. They were all Halloween themed. Halloween's over. Yeah, that's the trouble. Whoa. Alright, so the new ones that have the brutalism. Yeah, those ones were all, well, a lot of them were Halloween themed. So I want to make new ones now. I think it's best to just make new stuff, right? Okay. Alright. Alright, let's dive into the laptop land. It's time to take a look at assault tanks. Doot, doot, doot. We'll take a quick look at that one first, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, switch. Wrong one. Okay. What do we got? What do we got? Wait a minute. Oh, crap. Someone forgot to turn the menu off. Steve, turn the menu off. Okay. We're back in business, maybe. I hope. That's in the way. So this is the tank game I was talking about. I'm about to start doing the effects. So, like, we haven't done any of the effects or anything. There's no shaders yet. Nothing. It's pure wireframe. But it's kind of fun to check out. So, I thought we'd show it off. Oh, I opened 2 of them by accident. That's not good. There we go. We got him. So, give it a quick refresh. Okay. So, just like the old tank games of yore, it uses can we actually move the game? There we go. It uses dual controls, right? So forward with right, forward with left, back, you know, double back, double forward, one back, one forward, one back, one forward. You see what I mean? Anyway, where are the enemies? They're behind me. Okay, you got spacebar, and you got up-down controls for each track. You're like 2 joysticks. You know what I mean? The old classic. The classic. And if we go along here, we're going to find another tank to shoot at, maybe. I don't know. They seem to be getting further away. They all ran away. I went towards them and they all ran away. Hang on, I think there's something wrong with the radar. I think it might be inverted or something. And go the other way. Yeah, they're coming back. Yeah, I think maybe the radar is... I think maybe we're underneath... Oh, shit, they're right there. See? Oh, shit, they're right there. Luckily, they're stupid. You probably can't even see them on the screen. This is all wireframe. Oh, he was looking at me for a second there. Alright, killed him. Doesn't look like the radar updates. The score's updating. I like it though. It's very classic. Like, it's third person, not first person, so it's not just a straight copy, but what? You put the camera in a different place and it's not. And the mountains look weird as well. The mountains are like super extreme. But it's supposed to spawn in more tanks. And then the tanks get harder to kill, and, you know, it's just like the original game. I think there's... Oh, whoa, what was that? Something invisible, something invisible, something invisible. Just, what was that? Genuine fear. I'll hide behind this. What happened? There's something there. The bullets disappear. There's something there. I can't see it, but it's there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the super tank. He did, like, bosh me really far somehow. There's supposed to be turrets in this as well, which maybe I can't see. But yeah, like I said, I thought it actually did a really good job. It's a mountain? Yeah, true. You can see it and it's a mountain. Right. It's probably me just being blind. I think no enemies are spawning now, guys. I don't know what the condition is to get it to spawn again. Alright, anyway, I just thought this was a bit of fun. It's the movement system, which I thought was pretty sweet. And obviously it's all in 3D, right? But the next step is doing all of the shaders and the post-processing and stuff like that. There's like 1, 2, edge detection with the GSL shader. The next one, region-based tinting. What else is it doing? The next one, quality settings and stuff. Yeah. Oh wow, that drill is interfering with my mic. It's all good. But yeah, there's supposed to be a super tank. I can't see the super tank. Alright, so we showed you everything else. There's one other thing to show you. So let's just shut this. And this is sort of like the main event, I guess you could say. So this is the thing which doesn't work, which will work. Okay. Can we open it up? And it'll be like, it's not. Why are you trying to run NPM? Yeah, you can shut that game down. Okay. So we're going to try and install this on my main machine in a second. But this is my DJZ yesterday. I'll make it a bit bigger so you can actually see the elements. There's nothing there right now. So let me explain what it is. So it's connected to my ComfyUI on this local PC, but this local PC only has a 4GB GPU, so I use it for like resizing and things like that. But essentially you have a workflow library where you put your JSONs, and they are your own JSON. You know, you get your favorite workflow, and you save it as an API workflow, and then you upload it to this. And when your ComfyUI is running, you can say, I want this workflow to run every Thursday. That's what it does. So it lets you run, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's a big scheduler, right? The test workflow page is that. Remember when I said this is based on FlowRunner Basic, which just has like, it just has this, doesn't it? So this is what I'm saying. This app was built on this page. So I took the repo, which I've given away, which is like a template for doing this kind of thing. It gives you a UI to start from with a basic button that does the thing, and it's connected. You know what I mean? So as long as you can start from the point where it's already connected, and then you can make whatever app you want, but it runs on ComfyUI, not API keys, or, you know, paying for credits and whatnot. So it's literally whatever workflow you have that runs on your machine, you can turn it into an API workflow, have Comfy running in API mode, which is just a startup change. You just add a flag like low VRAM. Same thing, it's got code for it. And this isn't supposed to be a website, guys. This is something you use at home. Why are my mouses all staying everywhere? Look at this. I'm getting mouse cloning. Anyway, whatever. It's weird, man. It's fine on my screen. Anyway. So you can test it here and it'll show you if it's working or not. So obviously if I just use my resize API test, execute it, it will resize the image. Now I've got the 1000. What that workflow did, it's preloaded with this image and it just makes it 1024 size. Okay, it's just a test that it works. There you go. If I download that, it will have shrunk the image. It's just a simple test. Okay. So if you go over to settings, look. So it'll check every 60 seconds. You can obviously turn that down. All right. You can turn off the scheduler entirely. All right. You can clear the data. History. This is all the ones it's done while you were out doing your thing. Test. So I would always test a workflow before I add it to make sure that it's not just going to break. Yes. Just a quick callback to the tank controls, guys, because Fernie just said in the comments tank controls was common on Tomb Raider and Resident Evil when they started. A dual stick. It was one of the most popular arcade games of all time, and it was dual stick. which is why a lot of games used dual stick at first, but eventually they ended up turning into, like, you know, GTA style racing games with you know, brake and trigger on each side, and steer, look steer became popular. I think you might even say that Halo might have been one of the first games to do look steer well, you know, with the Warthog. I don't know, I'm not sure, but it might be, you know, that when they went look steer full 3D, you know. But anyway, get back to this. So what you can do is you can obviously schedule a task. So if I go to my workflow library and I add that test workflow, right, I'm going to call, it's got a name, resize API test, and it has a bunch of tags. You can add tags. So this is going to be resize. None of this is tested either, by the way. I love this. It's just working. Wait, is it though? Yeah, resize added, and then it's resize image, and there's no model, so I'm just going to say tool, right? Resizes a test image to 1 MP at any aspect ratio, right? Upload the workflow. So now I've got the workflow in the system. I can go to the calendar and I could say, oh, on the 11th, I want to run resize API test at midday. Go. You see? Now, as long as this is open and Comfy is open, good to go. That's the concept. That's the concept of the system, right? So now we've got one task pending, all right? When it does it, I should probably just, well, look, I think you understand the concept of a calendar. I'll test it to make sure it works. But the point is you end up with all the workflows that you want to orchestrate over the month. And then, because that's why I called it yesterday. If I set it up yesterday, I have it now. I don't have to wait. Yeah? So, we've got this complex video thing. It takes a half hour to make a good video. Cool. I scheduled 10 of them yesterday. They're done. That's the idea. Schedule it yesterday, have it done. Don't sit there waiting, right? All it takes is a little bit of setting up of the workflows. And you might think, well, hang on a minute. How do I change the prompt? How do I change the input? You cook it in. You cook it in, right? Let's say, I've changed this workflow now. You can't delete it because it's okay. You got to unschedule it first. I'm glad about that though. He makes me unschedule it first. How do I do that? Here we go. Oh look, execute now, or cancel, or delete. Isn't that the same thing? Do delete and go to the workflow library and delete. Nice. This is looking pretty sweet. Okay. So now all I've got to do is make sure I can download this. It's already pushed. So let's switch back over to the main machine. It's already pushed, guys. Oh, wrong one. Wrong mouse. Correct mouse. All right. Mushroom Fleet. Now, if this works, like I said, I want to do some more testing before I push it live, but I think this will be kind of nice. And the thing about Flow Runner is you've still got to do work. This is like you do all the work in Comfy, and then this just literally does scheduling. It's just scheduling. Anyway, scheduling for your APIs. Yeah, the only thing you have to do is you have to add this after where it says Windows standalone build, if you use that, and before the what do you call it, the front end, you just put this in to your startup, or I just copy my startup script, you know, the batch file or the whatever you load your Comfy with. You just add these. It's a built-in feature to Comfy. It has been there forever. And then when you start Comfy like this, you can still use it like normal. But apps are able to talk to it and tell it to run workflows. Okay, so obviously we started with does it say it in here? Usually I mention stuff like that. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. We're going to install it and make sure it works. So let's just make a new thing. What's this? Upload checklist for video to WebM. That one's, we finished that project. I should make a web version. The thing is, it uses CUDA. Oh well. So ComfyUI yesterday. Go in there, full screen, get the terminal, get clone. Come on, wake up. Wake up. Oh, oh no, Klein's been updated. That's not good. Okay, let me just, okay. Current Klein had a problem. We're not going to actually use Klein, right? We might be. Okay. I wonder if they fixed it. So there was an issue with Klein, and you may as well talk about if you ever have this problem. This applies to all extensions, really. So if I go into Klein, you can see under install specific version. Now the version which I'm going to install is 3.35.1. Because this one is having some trouble with writing file tool, which basically breaks it. So I'm just going to roll back my Klein real quick. Worth mentioning. I kind of forgot about it. All right, close that. So we've also got to open the actual repo to root. There we go. Beautiful. So now I've got my my thing here. Now it says do bun install, but I've got a funny feeling that actually it's npm install now, and this is out of date. So I'm going to try that. I don't believe that it is actually bun anymore, guys. Let's find out if I'm wrong. It might be yarn as well. It's kind of annoying. Sometimes he changes to a different package and he doesn't change to let you know. So then you get the readme and you're like, oh. Because sometimes it was bun or yarn, and then he changed it to something else. Look, there's a yarn lock and there's a bun lock. So two moderate severity vulnerabilities. Okay, we'll try it. Oi, stop stealing my focus, Windows. What is that? Okay. So distracting. Nah, seems to be working. And then the next thing will be your Comfy's not actually running with API. It might not be. Do you know what? I'm going to shut it down and restart it with API. Yeah, it was shut. It wasn't even. Yeah, it's not even up. It's not even up. So if I go to my ComfyUI folder, Windows Portable, I have an API version which has the bit added on like I just showed you, the -- listen 0.0.0 -- enable cause header space http. Shouldn't that be https? http://localhost. Oh yeah, of course, localhost 8080. Anyway, it's all in the README. So then we get the tool. All right. So then maybe I say I want to do something which, let's see, something. something. We could do flash? No. Image? This isn't real, by the way. This is ancient. How about we get the WAN? Not the 4 sharp. Ah, yeah, even better. ENH. Oh god, it's struggling. Thora T2I ENH 10. ENH noise cosine. Well, that's the 8-way. 8-way Empire. I'll start there. And it won't let me. I'll be like, you haven't even got it running. Whoops. Did we not actually run it? Oh yeah. My Comfy's seen better days. I think I need a rework. Probably got to reinstall it. Machines 15 will live again. But yeah, I hope you can feel the slow gravitation back in the direction of media generation. We've been doing a lot of stuff in coding lately. It can be a little tiresome. Speaking of which, shall we see if no, I don't have any extra scenes. Do I have any extra moves? Do I have to be... Ah, that wasn't so bad actually. I thought that would be a whole lot more effort. Ah, the beauties of technology. See, my legs were getting tired. Now I can sit down. Also, this is a lot cleaner. The animation for this is so much cleaner. When I'm standing up, I jump around all over the place. Allegedly. I'm just waiting for this to fire up, by the way. I'm not just like filling time here. When this opens, we should see connected. That's what we're aiming for. And then in preparation for that, I'm trying to get a recent look, T2I I2I Redux 110. Gonna get a workflow. Insert. Oh. Alright. How about now? Ah, crap. It inserted it to... Yeah. It really did insert it, didn't it? Okay. Right, now what is it? What is it? Needs a lot of changes to make an API out of it. That's all I'll say. So we got WAN T2V A14B, so it's going to be a WAN. Oh my goodness, it's got so much stuff activated. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if this explodes. But we'll give it a go. See, the thing is, I automate, whatever, all of my prompts. And, in fact, is Olama running? Is he... Checklist, pre-flight checklist, restart. Yeah, we've got a coup blast. There's always something like, you got to check your pipeline. Olama updates. I might just, can you turn off Olama updates? Because it works fine, you know. And the thing is that when it's waiting for the update, for the coup blast, when we're waiting for the coup blast update, he doesn't run. He's like, I'm not here. So sometimes that's kind of annoying. Look at that green screen. We're going to fix that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Green screen? Give me a second. Hold up. Where we're going, we don't need green screen. Wait. How is it still green screen? There's no green screen now. So why is it not? I'm confused. It's not even moving. Wait. Okay. That is black. Right there. Don't tell me there's one applied to heart. What was that doing? Maybe it's for the intro? There shouldn't be a chroma key on that layer. Oh well, we fixed it. We have the colour green has made a return to the show after many months of using green screen stuff and no one noticing, I guess. Alright. Man, why does it take so long to install QBlast? See, look, it's just crashing out. Okay, it's back. It was waiting for my Epson printer to finish installation, which I had no intention of doing. Okay. All right. See how many little blockers? Oh well, that's what the coffee's for, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Taking forever. Right, well, while it's doing that, so obviously I've got a prompt enhancer on there, which is Thora Biomech. What are we using right here? We're using an image batch. Yeah, we can't do that. We can't do that. We gotta do more. Aha! Aha! What's the concatenate? So basically automate the whole thing, right? So if I have... Get rid of that. Get rid of that. and then move this to there. And then where's it getting the prompt from? Use vision. Probably not such a bad idea. And then this says prepend da 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 with whatever that is. I wonder why I've used colon. Oops. Funny, I've used a specific number. Use vision to identify features for prompt enhancement without giving feedback or introduction. Only the prompt is needed in the output. Oh, I see. So put that there. And then you can use that. Okay. That goes in there. Clean this up a bit, get rid of that. There's probably so many things that can't do API on here, but we'll give it a blast. It'll be interesting. So what else is going on? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we've got prompt enhancer, open router T2I, I2I, I2I upscale. So the T2I is what's currently out. So let's just solidify that. Okay. All right. Wow, this is a crazy little workflow. This is why you end up going vertical, because it's just going to keep going to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. I wonder if it even runs. Kind of irrelevant when you need everything on. So we've got different seed. Okay, well, yeah, get rid of that. It's on randomize. That's on increment. Get rid of that. That's on randomize. Open router API key, huh? What the heck? Oh, there's an open router node under there. Get rid of that. Don't need that. Now we've got Geiger, Thora, woman. Geiger. Geiger. I don't see a Thora loaded. That's Thora right there. Turn off those two. And that one. And that one. There we go. There we go. 75 and 60? 80 and 55. Okay. Should probably save this as something. API test WAN. That's not attached to anything. Get rid of it. Put that in there. Image resize can go there. 122. So that sets the next. I see. So that sets the next level there, and that would be the original. But how does this? Yeah, it just goes straight down. So we've got two inputs to this and this. It's not really a big deal, but... and then we have a compare. Right, we can delete that. And then this becomes a preview, and that becomes... Well, I suppose you could just save them both. Something like that. Something like that. So ultimately it's driven by a folder full of images which have prompts in. That's what it's ultimately driven by. That's what I want to know. I want to know if this is something I can do. Because it should make, well, maybe not with Cyberhouse. Let's just change that to something else, like old Thoras from SDXL. Yeah. Put it on random. What model do I have? Qwen25. Put it on intern. Errors, please. So we're going to be using this image from SDXL. So export it as API test WAN, but also API and test Y API. Because I bet there's changes need to be done to make it work, and it's going to take forever. So this is the other thing, right? If it takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes to run the workflow, we've got a queue in Comfy, but like this would allow you to run a workflow every hour until lunchtime, and then you can come back and see what you have. So it's like a time-based, time-date scheduler. They could add this to Comfy very easily. Just have a calendar that you can do time-date. Run my workflow at this time, please. Anyway. Because the thing is, let's say I wanted to produce a video for the show every day. Well, I don't have time to sit there for 3 hours every day. But what I could do is write this tool which will do it for me. Again, it's all prep, isn't it? It's going to take a while to load those models up, guys. It's not going to be quick. But what I do have is the file. So if I go to test workflow, oh no, it's not accessible. Refresh it. What? Scheduler inactive. Oh no. Oh wait, it says active, but it's disconnected. Could not fetch. Blocked. Localhost 8080 is not equal to the supplied origin. I'm getting blocked. I'm sure this is... Localhost 3000. Localhost 8080. Have the server send a header. So for some reason on my laptop I use 8080 and on this one it uses 3000. 8188 system stats failed. Damn. There's some kind of issue. I wonder if it would be quicker to expose the cause header setting in here, because I don't know it's always going to be the same, do I? I'm pretty sure I set that in the file. So localhost 8080. So maybe if I just say localhost 3000 here, I get it. It's weird. It's weird, that is. Alright, well, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to do that and say API 2 and figure it out. It's probably because FlowRunner uses a weird API call. API 2 or something. I don't know. That one's not finished, so... If it's just a simple case of putting 3... I'm not sure if this is right, but... I suspect that that's what it wants me to do, so I'll try it. I will have to restart Comfy, so let's see. Did we get anything out of... Ah, good. Okay. So there we go. It gave me a high quality Thora out the other end, you know. And you can argue about that forever, but it did give me, you know, how big is that? 2K. All right, that's respectable. Okay, so first things first. I mean, it's worth it. All right, well, I'm going to restart the server anyway, so stop. It's quicker than I thought, guys. 229 seconds. It's not bad for what it is, for what it's doing. It certainly enhanced the outfit. Super Korean CGI style. It went from 90s anime to, I don't know, live action. Kinda. Right. That's probably something to do with the settings somewhere. Where is it? 1.5, 0. It's not that bad actually. Interesting. Alright, well anyway, I don't want to get into the weeds. Yeah, we can get rid of that though. That never worked. API 2. I'm going to try doing my cores to 3000 instead. I think that I was just using a different port on my laptop. Because if I could run this workflow, it basically means that it's going to automatically pick a prompt, automatically pick one of my old work. You know, it's going to take one of my old images. It's going to take, which has a prompt already, and then it's going to use that prompt with one of my enhancement agents and that image as an input to recreate the image and then upscale it. And at the moment, the upscaler is set to 122. Or rather, should I say it's set to cascade? It should be bigger than that. Okay. Did we shrink it down? It's 2048 by 2048, yeah? That is not what we asked for. Oh wait, no, Cascade is 2K. I'm wrong and a fool. I needed to put it to, I think it's 3072. Yeah, so it goes up 50% in the last step. Yeah, that's how you do it. 122 here. Okay, so we've got some conflicting image stuff. So we've got 122 there. So it was 1536, and then it went to 2048. Yeah. Without actually changing them. Oh, you can't do that. Anyway, save that. Now, so this will give me it is tempting just to go straight to 4K because it's only another, it's not actually that far from here to there. It's not that far. In fact, wait a minute, what am I talking about? That's bigger. That's 2880. Yeah, so we'll do the bigger one. And hopefully it doesn't break. So we go run again. We're going to get a new image. Hopefully it's able to figure that out. It's not the best image. You can see she's holding a gun, right? But it might not know where her torso is and stuff like this. Pretty good picture. Are we online? Are we online? We're online. Yeah, we connected. All right, cool. So how about we resave that workflow again? Export. Save it. Export API. Test 1, 2 API. So we'll upload a workflow. We will upload this workflow that we're working on now. And it's going to be test 2. Test 2. And it does image to image 122 ups. It's not. Well, yeah, image. And then 3072x, slightly unconventional tag. So pulls image from dataset with prompt, regenerates with character and style LoRa for this character in WAN 2.2 T2V, low noise, sends result to I2I T. What was it? I2I 1.2.2 tiled upscale to 2880 X. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not 2880X. It's 3072X. That's the whole point. There we go. Okay, so now I have that. Schedule task. Doesn't seem to do anything. Okay. How about we do a test? We use you in November the 8th at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. What about 9:59? What, 9:55? Even better. So what, do you know what I need? I need a current time, don't I? Because whose time are we? I mean, I guess we're talking about the system clock on this computer, but I'm not really sure for sure. I'm not really for sure. It's weird. It finished the image, but I don't get to see it because I saved the workflow again. Ah, here we go. I found it. All right. Before and after. Yeah, it's fine. So you could do a workflow for it of the day. Okay. Rui says, I'm really loving the subgraph feature for cleaning up workflows. Yes, what it does is it treats your workflow like an API node. Because that's what, you know, the API nodes are essentially, subgraph, right? And what I'm hoping is that when you combine this new system that we've got, the DJZ yesterday, yeah, then we're able to then create workflows with the subgraph, all right? Because I could say I could have a subgraph here. I could have subgraphs everywhere. But what I'm trying to say is you could use that and then puppet them all. So, like, for example, I could do my characters and I could have an image of the day for each of my pre-trained LoRa's just being made every day. And then I've got an MCP which uses secure copy, which I've been working on. So the idea is, instead of pushing your server to public, you orchestrate everything on your machine. You don't pay a damn thing for any of the image or video generation. And then you have a website, which is your gallery, right? And then every day, the MCP is said, oi, push my images of the day to the website. And then you don't even need to do it. So then every day, you get image of the day with your work, because it is your LoRa's, it's your workflows, it's all of your trained art that you did in the first place. But then what happens is you get, like I said, you get image of the day across your projects. And then, like I said, it will end up being like the news site. Over time, there will be more. So it's like it's like plant a seed instead of trying to maintain, instead of trying to like actually go around and glue all of the branches and the leaves on. Just plant the seed and let the tree grow, you know? So like tonight we're going to be working on my new gallery. But the funny thing about the new gallery is I think I might sort of hybridize it with something called PeeWeeGo. So as we've only got 5 minutes left, hey, hang on a minute, did the thing work? It's time. I don't think he did it, guys. Upcoming tasks. 9:55 p.m. November the 8th. Wait, where'd it go? I think that means it worked. Can I see something? Because the thing is, remember, I didn't try to get the images back because I just wanted it to do the thing. And it's doing the thing. There hasn't been an image back yet. You see what I'm trying to say? So this will get made in a folder according to the... Oh, what's this? Error, PNG info is not a dict or missing a workflow key. Gotta watch out for this. So do we actually get it? It's made something. I'm gonna go and find out. It's doing something. We can look at PeeWeeGo in a minute. I already showed it years ago. We go in the output folder. Now, it says it just made... No, that's not today. Okay. 122, yeah. Thora Sci Society, yeah. It's respecting all the project folders. So, like, you know, you use the project folders, 122, Thora, I2I single, T2I single. I don't know if those are new, though, I'll be honest. I think... Wait, is that the new one? Or was that already... No, that's a new one. I didn't do that over here. That's the last one. Wait a minute. So... He's doing the upscale now. I2I single, and you've got the compares in there. Oh, it's just finished. 1 minute and 9 seconds. Wait, what's it doing? It's still going. It just gets stuck on like Mickey Mouse with the buckets all over again. Oh, there we go. That's the final image. 3072 by 3072, and then it did a little compare of you know, what's it? Before and after. Okay. So on the left, my original work from the collection years ago in SDXL, and then on the right, the 122 version. Now, obviously, I've put a bunch of different lauras and stuff together, so this is why it's such a dramatic change. But you can see it follows it, though. It is following it. Obviously, we've got some Geiger influences in here, but it is following it. Right, so, and like I said, that would be your, you know, your output would be not that one. That's 1536. It would be right there, the T2I 3072. Look at that. Okay, so it works. Obviously, what I've done to simplify the system is I've said that where's it going? Here we go. You don't change the prompts. Did you notice? You bake everything in. So then that means in the workflow, I have set a bunch of prompts and images to be fed into the system here, which are then variated using my biomech system for Thora. And then we've got Thora's LoRa loaded and my Geiger LoRa loaded, right? And then it's basically from that point, it's a standard affair. Yeah. So that means that I can either come in here and click this button, or I can have ComfyRunner execute that workflow, you know, on every Thursday, you know. If I go click on this, it's completed now. Can I? No, I can't. So if I went to, say, tomorrow, yeah, normal priority. I could have sworn there was a way to make them do intervals, so it'd be like every day. I could pick that, pick the day, say 12 o'clock, schedule it. Can we click on it here? Execute and cancel. Okay, so maybe there isn't. The green was done. Day view. Oh, the subgraphs has trouble with the... Can you not open up the subgraph and then use the node manager to get custom nodes? Yeah, true. They will fix that. Yeah, they will fix that. As long as they don't go automatically subgraphing workflows that don't need them, I think it's a great feature. Because some people might not want to do it. And there might be a temptation to auto-fold everybody's workflows, which will create bonkers chaos. But anyway, so then you end up with, like I said, a curated workflow library. You can filter it, so once you've got a lot of them, that's why I showed the filters. But essentially this is like subgraphing your whole workflow and then pinning it to a day of the week, you know, or a time of day. That's my idea. So, all right, last thing before I get out. PeeWeeGo. What is PeeWeeGo? PeeWeeGo is like having your own gallery. And I used it for years. It had millions of views. The people that looked on it were happy with it. Do you know what I mean? It's just have your own platform, guys. We make images. Yeah? But we also write code. So this, like I said, I don't even, is it even licensed or free? I think it's just free, guys. But again, I used it. It was fair. You put it on your own server. That's what it's for. You could probably use it to organize on a local machine, but it's really meant to be on a server. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be putting up a new gallery soon, but I want to be doing, we're going to be doing some stuff. Because I want to automate everything that I have to normally do as an AI creator, right? I want to automate it all, and I want to give away all of the code, because then anybody can. And then, it's a force multiplier in my view. A force multiplier for everyone, which is what they call a catalyst. Yeah? That's a catalyst. Suddenly, everybody in this area is doing 1000% productivity and no one can figure out why. So that is basically the end of the show. So thank you everybody for coming along. We'll be in the Discord again later on tonight, no doubt. But yeah, we're going to be building this tonight. I probably am going to look at building my own extensions if that's even a possibility. That's the plan. Because like I said, the new thing works great. Also, I'll be pushing this as well because it works. There's no reason not to, you know. I'm not trying to gatekeep here. I'm trying to educate. So it's just going to probably show up, and you can watch out for a link in the inside line. That's what I do. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Most likely it's going to be an early show because I've got so much to get on with. And we've got the new scenes. I'm going to have new scenes to test out. It's going to be awesome. So thank you all for joining me. And we'll be in the voice channel momentarily. And like I said, if you're watching later, thank you for the continued support. And I'm sorry you can't get to the meets. We are thinking about doing a Sunday breakfast club from next week, but we'll see what attendance is like. All right then. Thank you very much. Look at me glitching. Hup, 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 hup. Thanks, guys. See you next time.